Hello, my name is Jessica Zamora, and oops, a little ahead here. My presentation on my community windshield survey assignment. So I am currently in Redding, California, which is located in Shasta County. Through this assignment, I was able to better assess my current little town since, again, I moved here recently, specifically over the summer. Redding is known mostly for its beautiful outdoor activities and has been called Trail Capital of California, the second sunniest city in the United States. And I will say it's very sunny. Over the summer, it would get up to 120 degrees, and it's a different type of hot. Very, very, very hot. And home to Bethel Church. And Bethel Church brings in a lot of people all over the world for the church alone, and they have their own ministry school as well that many people attend. So the two communities I have chosen are Redding and Anderson, which are about 10 minutes to 15 minutes apart. So first I'm going to talk a little bit about Redding. So Redding is the county seat of Shasta County, California. It lies along the Sacramento River and is the largest city in Shasta County. There are some newer homes, such as the townhome communities built not too long ago, along with older houses, apartments, and many trailer homes. The average household income is $43,000, and the average property value in Redding is $225,000. This specific little townhouse right here, that's the community I live in. It's very well kept. I've lived in many places as a travel nurse, so it's a very nice area compared to what I've lived in prior. They even have like a little trail park, just things to offer the community. And the lower one was a picture I took of a trailer home, and there's many out here. So population of Redding is about 90,000. The average age is 38. And the largest race out here is Caucasian at 85%. There are not many there's not many other than Caucasian, and even Hispanics being 8%. I have only, in the time I have been here, I've worked for about 2 months here. I have spoke Spanish once, so I speak Spanish, but yeah, I have spoken Spanish once to one of my patients, so it's not very big. So during my time here in Redding, I've heard there are many transients that pass by. There's also a huge homeless population, a lot of young homeless population. It said, I read an article that was under 30, but I really think it's under 25. I mean, they're very young. Heroin and meth is the drug of choice out here. With the whole transient thing, I noticed it probably within the last month. You see them a lot on the freeway. They don't seem homeless as far as they look. They're wearing, somewhat decent clothing. They have a lot of stuff with them. They're not carrying around like a cart full of stuff or anything, but you can tell they're traveling through, they're passing by through. We're about 20 minutes from the capital, 20 minutes, 2 hours from the capital, Sacramento, and 2 hours from the border of Oregon. So you can tell it's definitely a passing by city. So again, the neighborhood I currently live in is clean and safe, but other parks, especially community parks, are not as safe. You can tell a lot of the homeless live there, reside there, and a lot of the transient public hangs out there as well. It seems like most people use their own motor vehicle, but there is public transportation. Just to kind of add this in there, Uber and Lyft are available, but not as readily available as in bigger cities. And the city offers many homeless shelters. There's a lot out here, actually. There are 2 hospitals centrally, and they both offer many things. There's a trauma center. The one in downtown I'm at isn't a trauma center, surprisingly, but they're also a chest pain and stroke center. So Bethel is a huge service out here. Again, they offer ministry and they also outpour onto the community as well. And there's a few local schools and a community college and a private Christian school called Simpson University. There's small shopping centers and also community mall. This town has many family-owned businesses, lots of family-owned. My friends just opened up an ice cream shop actually as well. So small businesses do really well out here, and small businesses are very good out here. So the biggest industry for work is the county and the hospitals. Bethel Church also brings in jobs to the community. It is also said that hotels is a big industry out here. And again, it's a passing by city from Oregon to here, or there's a lot of people that come from Bethel that are out of the States. So the hotel industry is very big. They're building like 3 new hotels right now here. As in with every community, there's a wealthy population as well as a poorer population. The difference with Redding is they have a huge transient population, which doesn't really add to the poverty level, rather just, you know, they're still there. They're still kind of, you know, I don't want to say begging, but they're still part of the homeless population, only temporarily. And then Redding is known as the 5th most dangerous city in the U.S. to live. Poverty rate is 18%. So that's some stats here for leading employees. So Anderson. So Anderson is about 10 miles south of Redding. It's significantly smaller than Redding. Redding's at 90,000. Anderson's about 10,000 people. It's very farm life out there. Houses are very spread apart. There's not a lot of neighborhood communities like the community I live in, you know, not a really big backyard, very close together, sharing, you know, common spaces. So the household income in Anderson is 32, and the houses are valued average at 157. And there are some beautiful houses out there, very, very pretty houses. But a lot of them are, you can tell they've been there for a while. They have a lot of history to them. Maybe, I'm not sure. Stated previously, Anderson is a much smaller town than Redding. The community is spread out more. From what I saw, there is not much homeless people in Anderson as there is in Redding. The town seems more quiet than Redding as well. Personally, the way I think of it, if I was homeless, I would not go to a city like Anderson just because, again, there's not much to do out there. There's not many people to ask, you know, for things or whatever, so I would take that effort, go to Redding, so, you know, I'm surrounded more by people. So I don't think there's a much homeless, but there's people who, you know, don't have a great income. So they do utilize the community resources. There's one local park, not many things to do in Anderson. I will say their community park is very nice and upkept. It looks a bit newer or remodeled, not sure. Many people appear to use their own vehicle to get around. No public transportation was noted other than just like one bus stop, which was right off the freeway, kind of centrally located, maybe to just go to Anderson and go from there. Few Christian and Catholic churches were noted. 4 schools were located that seemed like they're from children to adolescent, and then it seems like most people go to the community college here in Redding, which again is only like a 10-minute drive. They have one central market that has like a Walmart. Can't remember what other stores are there, but they don't have like a Target. They have like a few fast food joints, and then when you get into Anderson, they have a casino called Wind River. So poverty rate over here is at 24%. It seems like many residents find income from farming. A lot of them offer fresh farmed eggs or meats. Somebody even has a program where you can pay a monthly subscription and they'll give you like a half a cow eggs throughout the year that you can just freeze and utilize throughout the year. Many travel to work as well, so many will travel to Redding or even Red Bluff. Red Bluff has their own community hospital. This pumpkin patch I went there in October, and you know, it seems like that's a great little business that they have. They do it every year. It's a real success. You have to pay for parking, pay for pumpkins, you know. By the end of the day, it's like a Disneyland trip. So they do well with that. That's a family-owned business. So talking about the 4 problems and issues in Redding, the biggest things are improving mental health, just allowing more resources for that. Reducing the drug abuse, preventing unintentional injuries and violence, and promoting healthy sexual behaviors. Mental health is a big thing, and that's secondary to drug use. So if you fix, hopefully, the drug use problem, the mental health will kind of resolve itself to an extent. Unfortunately, Reading has big rape incidents. So, and a lot of mugging. It's gotten better. It's gotten a lot better. But that is a big problem out here still. Even when I leave work, I always have security walk me out because I work right in downtown. So, and that's everybody. Everybody has them walk them out because it's pretty dangerous out there. People are pretty ruthless. And then sexual behaviors, a lot of the homeless just kind of, are spreading STDs and stuff like that. Anderson, there's a lot of older adults that live out there, but unfortunately they don't have a lot of resources. So improving the health of them. And then these two go kind of hand in hand, improve access to comprehensive quality healthcare services, as well as ensure federal, state, tribal, territorial, and local health agencies have the necessary infrastructure to effectively provide essential public health services. They don't have a lot of community like clinics or anything like that. And then again, the mental health thing. There's a lot of people with mental health issues out there as well. And Reading, or I should say Shasta County, doesn't necessarily have a mental health clinic or anything like that. They do, but it's very impacted, and it's overutilized. Not overutilized, it is overutilized, but there's not enough. That they need more. They need probably another building. So community resources, Reading obviously has a little bit more than Anderson, but they both have, Reading has the hospitals, the large marketplaces, Bethel Church, the homeless shelter and support groups, whereas Anderson kind of feeds off of Reading. Also Red Bluff, who has a community hospital, both are 10 minutes apart. But they really utilize Reading's resources, which is fine. It's a neighboring town, but Reading is the one that really offers those community resources. So both communities have their own strength. Reading has a bit more to offer as far as resources, opportunities for growth. With that said, Reading requires more of a population than Anderson. Anderson can be a safer place to live when it comes to that idea. Reading houses more of the homeless and transient community. Reading hosts many local events, bringing the community together, and Anderson does the same. Reading also provides beautiful natural parks that many come to visit. Along with Anderson, the small town vibes allows the community to constantly connect. Coming from a bigger town like LA, that's what I've noticed living out here, is that I'm very connected with my community, which is what I wanted. So I kind of just put what my stakeholders have stated, which I'll just kind of read off and explain further. So Jennifer D said, Reading is a small town with lots of potential. When I first came out here, I was scared. As it is known, it's a dangerous city to live in. But through Bethel, I was able to understand the calling along with others to impact the city through the work God called us to do. So Bethel is a big thing that outsources to the community. They have provided money to the police department. They volunteer a lot in like the homeless shelters and the food drives. So they're really aware of the homeless population, the malnourishment and all that. So they really help out with that. Gretchen is a coworker that works with Shasta County Mental Health, and she's really big about providing mental health resources. So she basically said there are many residents of Reading living on the street with mental health issues, and residents meaning they've lived there their whole lives, and unfortunately their families are what dictated their lives now. Most of the mental health issues that are drug induced, she is providing to provide a better outcome for these types of patients by vowing for more mental health resources. Terry K, which was my patient, 80-year-old man that's from Anderson, that basically confessed to me that a lot of his friends don't really take care of themselves. They're smoking. It's that farm life. It's what they've grown up with. They don't know really any better. And again, they don't have clinics or anything, local hospitals, or anything like that out there. So he tries to get all his friends together and just tries to tell them the importance of upkeeping with their health. And Tom B is a pastor at a local church in Anderson, and he basically confessed to me that Bethel Church has really influenced him as a pastor in his church to really outsource to the community and provide resources such as Bethel does. So And that ends my presentation on my community windshield survey. I hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for watching.